My Funko Pop collection is so dirty. There's so much dust, I feel like it's making it hard for me to breathe. Nah, I'm kidding, it's not that bad. It's a lot of dust though. So today I'm cleaning my Funko Pop collection. I'm getting rid of some pops, rearranging some things, and I thought it would be fun to bring you guys with me. Also, I filmed this intro the day after, so my collection's actually spotless right now. I cleaned it all already. But that's besides the fact. I still have to show you the process and how I cleaned it. So let's get started. Wait, that's what Top Pop says. I can't say that. So let's begin. That sounds weird. So let's get right into it. And I'm gonna start with this wall of Funko Pops right here. It's the smaller of the two, and honestly, I feel like it would take less time. So let me get this out of the way first. Now, my goal for this shelf one day is to have each shelf completely of one line. I almost have that with all my Pokemon Pops. I have like a little bit of space right here, which I'm gonna have more Pokemon Pops in eventually. And I think this shelf right here, I wanna have it all one piece one day. I think that would look so cool. And my top shelf, I'm not really sure what I want to do with it. I have a lot of Iron Man and Spider-Man Funko Pops, and I think it would be very cool to get a bunch of different Iron Man and Spider-Man Funko Pops and have that whole shelf to be Spider-Man and Iron Man. I just said Iron Man and Spider-Man way too many times, but it would be cool to see that top shelf full of them. So my plan is, when I'm cleaning up the shelves, I'm also gonna get rid of a few pops that I don't really want on display anymore, just so that way I can make space for other pops that I would like to replace them with. I do know I have two new One Piece Funko Pops on the way, which will be in a video sometime this week or next week. And I'm gonna make space for them on my One Piece shelf, so I'm gonna have to get rid of a few pops. So let's get to cleaning, dusting, getting rid of Funko Pops in my collection. Like Drake once said, started from the bottom, now we're here. Except that actually isn't what I'm doing. I'm starting it from the top and then we're going to the bottom. So that way when you're dusting the top shelf, all the dust falls down onto the other shelf. You clean that one, it falls down once more, you clean that one, then you clean the floor below it. If you didn't know, now you know. And yeah, let's get to cleaning. First step, take the pops off the wall. That's two shelves down, one more to go. That one's a little bit more tricky though, because I could just reach these two when I'm standing up like normally. Now I actually have to climb up on my bed or like something over there to get all those ones. So it's gonna be a little bit more tricky, but so far we're doing good. And boom, just like that, all of them are off the wall, except for the boxes, of course. The boxes are next. And I've got some padding on the floor right here, aka two towels. I put them on the floor so I can put the pop boxes on top of those, so nothing goes wrong. But yeah, next up, let's get rid of all the pop boxes on the wall. And like I said, I'm gonna get rid of a few pops in my collection, so when I put them back up after, it might not look the same as right now, but we'll get to that after. For now, let's take down all these pop boxes. And boom, just like that, everything is off the wall. Honestly, it did not take me as much time as I thought it would take me. About like 5 minutes. Now is the perfect time to take a clickbait thumbnail. Wait, 3, 2, 1. That's like 10,000 views right there. Selling my Funko Pop collection. Or no. I'm done with Funko Pop collecting. But now the hardest part, not the hardest part actually, the most time consuming part I should say, is just dusting everything. There is actually so much dust in this room. So the first rule is to dust all the shelves behind me first, top to bottom like I mentioned earlier. Then dust all the pop boxes, put the pop boxes back on the wall in whatever way I want them to, then dust all the pops individually, and that is the hardest part, I'm not even gonna lie. Everything takes so long to dust. But let me get to doing that and I'll see you guys in a bit. My lights behind me died, but it's okay, I'll fix it for the rest of the video. For now, here's what I have in my display over here. Why did I just forget what I was saying? Here's what I have so far. I cleaned up all the pop boxes up there. I got rid of a few pops I don't really care about up there. I think it was a few Fortnite ones and Overwatch pops. So I have a little bit of extra space at the end now for whatever I want. There is a few more that I will get rid of eventually, but just to keep the shelf a little bit more full, I kept them there for now. Now I'm gonna dust the pops and put the pops up there. So I'll be back in 1 second to show you what it looks like. All right, now I'm done that top shelf. That took way too long, more long than I expected. To be honest, now I'm really dreading doing this wall behind me because there is so much more pops over here. But let me not focus on this wall yet. I still have more work to do over here. And I won't do the same thing that I just did for that one. I'm not going to show you the step-by-step process because I feel like that would be kind of boring. It's just very repetitive. So I'm going to do these last two shelves right here and I'll come back when it's all done. And boom, just like that, I have all the pops back on the shelf. And as you can see, I have a little bit of extra space at the end of each shelf. And I did that strategically so that way whenever I get new pops for whatever line it is on that shelf, I can just slide them in. Because normally it would be such a hassle to take out pops from the shelf, then make space for the new pops, rearrange them in certain ways. Pops are falling, pops are getting damaged. It's just horrible. But yeah, that shelf is all done. Honestly, overall, I think it was like about an hour long. Didn't take me that long at all. Now we're getting to the big shelf over here, and wow, this shelf is gonna take me a while. And here's the game plan. I'm not gonna do it the same way I just did those 3 shelves. I'm gonna get rid of all the Rick and Morty pops first, do that shelf, then put all the pops back on, then do the middle shelf. Unlike the way I just did those shelves over there where I took them all down first, then I put them all up from top to bottom. Since these shelves behind me are a little bit bigger, I'm gonna do them one shelf at a time. And also that Rick and Morty shelf up there is about like 100 pops on just that one shelf, so it's gonna take me a while. I'll update you guys along the way, but for now, let's get started with that Rick and Morty shelf up there. I've been dreading this. Wow, that looks really weird not seeing any of my Rick and Morty pops up there. I have so many, I've never realized how many there was, to be honest. But yeah, unlike the shelves I just did, I'm not gonna get rid of any of my Rick and Morty pops, so it's still gonna be as full as it was before. I might rearrange a few of them, but it should just generally look the same. But yeah, let me get to dusting all those pops and boxes and the shelf, and I'll come back when it's all done. And my Rick and Morty collection is now fully back on my shelf. Honestly, there was a lot of dust up there, and I think all of it just transferred to the one right below it because I was using this shelf for like storage when I was like putting the pops back on the shelf. So I think all the dust just came down, so I'm gonna have to clean this anyways. It works out, it's fine. Now let's clean this shelf right here. I don't know why this is so dark. My lights are deciding not to work, so that's probably why, but behind me, the middle shelf, it's finally empty. I'm sweating like crazy. I didn't expect this to be a workout, but it really is. I'm out of breath too. I'm like constantly squatting, picking stuff up, putting stuff around. Wasn't expecting it, but now the shelf is completely empty. All I have to do is dust all the pops that were on it, put them back. And like I said, I might get rid of a few Walking Dead pops. I haven't watched anything Walking Dead related in years. It was one of my favorite shows at one point, but some of the pops I don't need in my collection anymore. I got them way back when because I liked the pops. Now it's more like I don't really need 3 Daryl Dixons. I can just have one. But yeah, I'm gonna do that behind me and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. And now the middle shelf over here is now fully cleaned, and I did get rid of a few Walking Dead Funko Pops. I'll show those off after when I show all the pops I'm getting rid of in my collection. But finally, all we have to do next is this small shelf right here, and this shouldn't take long at all. I forgot to show you when the shelf was empty, but I promise you I cleaned it. It's clean, no more dust. Look, no dust at all. I promise you I cleaned it. I should have showed you when I had it empty, but I didn't, I forgot. But yeah, now I'm complete. I finished this whole wall right here. I dusted all of it. It took a while. It took so long that it's dark outside now. I started this video when it was bright outside. These are all the pops that I removed from my shelves that I'm going to be selling on Whatnot. There's 2 more that I got rid of from my shelves, but I want to keep these ones, and eventually I might just put them back in my collection one day. But these are the ones I'm going to be selling on Whatnot. I know there's a whole Canada Post strike happening right now, so I don't know if I can list these yet because I want to make it available to everyone outside of Canada, since most of my viewers aren't actually from here in Canada. So I'm going to post these eventually, hopefully sometime soon. But that sums up today's video. Thank you guys for coming along with me as I cleaned my Funko Pop collection. What a fun video this was. Finding some Funko Pops I forgot about in my collection. Cleaning everything so that way I can finally breathe in my room. It wasn't that bad to the point where I couldn't breathe. Like, I can breathe right now. I just wanted to get a little bit of clickbait in there, you know what I mean? But thank you guys for watching today's video. Comment down below your favorite Funko Pop in your collection. I would love to know. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.